Hi, my name is Anita Dickerson. You'll never believe what recently has happened to me. Here's the story. Enjoy. I was scrolling on YouTube recently and stumbled across a YouTube video by a guy named Chuck Sloan called My Name is Chuck on STD TV. It was a story about Chuck taking his mother Gladys to Connecticut to visit his sister Rebecca, whose landlady Linda is feeling depressed about going through a long difficult divorce, which Linda has to raise Rebecca's rent to cover the expensive legal fees. But being a great big brother, Chuck gets the idea to take Linda out, get her drunk and make love to Linda in order to lower Rebecca's rent. I was so intrigued and fascinated by this story that I called my mom to tell her about this story. After our conversation, my mom watched the video. After she finished watching the video, she called me. I answered the phone, and I could tell by my mom's voice something was wrong during the conversation. It seemed like my mom was trying to tell me something, but didn't know how to tell me, so I asked, "Is everything all right?" She said, "No, I've been holding a secret that may make you think different of me, and may hurt you." I replied, "Mom, just tell me what's troubling you." After I heard her softly sigh, she started to tell me the year was 1990. I was going through a rough patch in my life. I was in the midst of a nasty, long, brutal divorce. I felt so alone. I used drugs and alcohol to try to cover up my depression and suicidal tendencies. I gave up on life. I didn't care what happened to me until one day I was looking out my bedroom window, watching the birds, and an old beat-up station wagon pulled up to my duplex in Connecticut. A handsome, muscular, manly hunk stepped out. He quickly went to the passenger side and helped a semi-elderly woman to my downstairs tenant's front door. I didn't think about it. I continued to watch the birds. Later on that night, after I drank a half of a bottle of wine, my downstairs tenant yelled up to me to invite me down for a barbecue. I accepted the invitation. I told her to give me a couple minutes, I'll be down. I quickly cleaned myself up. I went downstairs, where I met my downstairs tenant's family. After we all ate, had a few drinks, and talked for at least 2 hours, I was feeling a little tipsy. I asked privately the downstairs tenant's brother, who I can only describe as a dark-haired version of Fabio, if he'd accompany me to the local bar down the street called Mickey's. After a few glasses of Chardonnay, we got back into the brother's car and went to a local excluded wooded area. He put on a Otis Redding song. After making out for a few minutes, things quickly got heated as we moved into the back seat, where he made me feel alive and like a woman again. He gave me multiple orgasms, which I really needed to de-stress after the hell I'd been through recently. After the lovemaking, we talked for about an hour. Then we got dressed, got back into the front seat, and went back to the house like a true gentleman. He helped me up the stairs to my part of the duplex. We kissed, said goodnight and goodbye.
Please go to Welcome to the Shiz Show's YouTube channel and support at Vader from Wish and at NWO_Cuzzy_ Machine. It's becoming pro wrestling's best podcast, ranked 5 stars by Dave Meltzer. Also check out great YouTubers like Perpetual Comedy, Salem Seller with Horror Goddess / Scream Queen Carmella, and my rocker friend Jammin' Music Man James Green on Facebook. Check out Mark's Wrestling Masks for your wrestling masks needs, and the group Capcos Championships. Perpetual Comedy will be at WrestleMania 40. Hugh Jass. Have a great day.
I woke up the next morning, went to the window, discovered the brother's car was gone. I quickly got dressed. I went downstairs, where the downstairs tenant was outside doing yoga. I said, "Sorry to interrupt, is your brother around?" The downstairs tenant replied, "Sadly no, he and my mom left to go back home early this morning." I said, "Oh, I thought he could help me with a project I needed a man's help with." She replied, "Sorry, is it something I can help with?" I said, "Thank you for the offer, but it's nothing that's urgent. I just thought I'd used him while he was around. I'll hire somebody." After that, she informed me she was moving out to head back home because her family's visit made her realize how homesick she was. I replied, "You were a great tenant. I loved having you, but I understand family is the most important. I wish her well in her future." I left to go back upstairs and continued my day doing my usual stuff. A week passed. A moving truck was outside. I just stood there watching movers load the truck with all her stuff. After they finished, the movers got in the truck and drove off. Later on that day, I went to my mailbox. A big box and letter taped to my door piqued my curiosity. It was from my tenant. She wanted to thank me for being so kind to her that she got me such a thoughtful gift. 3 weeks later, I started feeling sick every morning. That I went to my gynecologist, where he gave me the greatest news, that I was carrying a little blessing. After hearing the news, I felt my life had meaning again. I was so grateful to discover that former tenant's brother baked a Boston cream pie in me, which I'm so happy that the condom broke. That blessed me with such a miracle. 8 months later, "You were born," I replied, shocked and angry. "So the man I thought was my biological father, your ex-husband Mo Lester, isn't my dad, and your former tenant's brother is." "Sorry, Mom, I need time to process all this," she said. "Take all the time you need. Hopefully one day, you'll find the strength to forgive me for not telling you and lying to you for 33 years before I stormed off. I turned around. I asked what was his name. She responded, crying, Chuck Sloan. I replied that man in the video is my father and the story he told was true, and I was the product of their one night stand. She bursted out, yes, it's ALLL true. I stormed off, got into my car, and drove back home to my house, where I googled Chuck Sloan. I found out he is a retired wrestler who appeared on an episode of WWE Superstars, which at the time was WWF, where he was in a tag team match versus Chris Candido and Dr. Tom Pritchard, who were managed by the beautiful Tammy Sunny Sytch. They were called the Heavenly Bodies. He has appeared as a background actor in hit shows like Will and Grace and Sex and the City. He has appeared in such movies as The Devil's Daughter, a Harley Quinn story. He played Detective Harvey Bullock recently. He's acted in a Amazon Prime horror series Stroh's Sinister Cinema as Wolfie. Chuck Sloan is currently married to a lovely woman, Deborah, and they have a daughter, my half-sister Ashley. I haven't reached out to Chuck. I don't want to ruin his life, but I will be doing a 23andMe to find out more about my story. Sorry to be such 50 Shades of Grey telling this story, but if you like this story, please subscribe, like, share and comment telling me you want more story like this. Love you all. Thank for listening. Until next time.